What's going on, guys? My name is Egox, and a couple months ago I asked myself just how crazy was Warzone's Caldera's gas plays, and I made an entire video explaining Caldera's gas play mechanics. But today we're gonna be talking about Warzone 3, because this is a different ball game for sure. The main difference, of course, being that we have a backpack available to carry equipment into the gas. Also, Warzone 3's gas is a little bit more complicated. But before we're going into this, I really want to show which one you could survive longer in the gas and make a quote-unquote better gas play. So that's why today's topic is everything you need to know about gas. And in the end, we're gonna be comparing this to the jungle version and see which one is greater. So wait for the end where I pull out the optimal route. But now grab your... and let's enjoy the video. Before we run into radioactive winds, we need to break down the tools that we have in the gas and how gas affects the game flow. So first, let's talk about the buy station. All buy stations will close up if they go around 45 meters deep into the gas. But with the help of the PDS, you can reopen buy stations. Normal ones, not the portables. Now what do we have in the shelves? We have an unlimited amount of gas masks with 3,000 each. We're also interested in self-revive kits that are 4,000 each, but they are limited on 2 per buy station. Of course, buy station offers us a couple indirect gas play items as well, such as ammunition and balloons. That's enough for the buy station. Let's talk about the equipment and the perk you want to be using if your best interest is to be optimal in the gas. And let's first talk about our good old friend stims, because my first impressions definitely were that they were unusable in the big map. But actually, here you can see that a perfectly timed stim will allow you to save 7 seconds in gas. Look at that. Now that 7 seconds is calculated with the irradiated perk. But the best way I find to use these stims is I react on my health bar when I see that gas tick on my health bar, and that'll time it so that it'll just tick before I use the stims, so that I can get the maximum healing before the next gas tick. And of course, the irradiated perk gives us a noticeable benefit when trying to survive in the gas. We also want to throw in the restock perk to restock those stims because they are not useless. Next is gas mask. Now the normal gas mask will allow you to be 10 seconds in gas damageless, and that guy's big brother, the durable gas mask, the best in slot in gas. And that'll allow us to be 20 seconds fully mobile, damageless in the gas. Next up, portable decontamination station. Now this is, I believe, the only field upgrade that circle count affects its duration. Now PDS will last 15 seconds before circle 8, and once you hit circle 8, your PDS duration gets cut in half, making it a 7.5 second protection from the gas. I'm not gonna lie, without that nerf, you could gas play every end game. I want to point out this one outliner game that I had, which is where my PDS duration gets cut in half in a 7th circle, as you can see there. This might be because it's a runaway train circle, or it could be just an honest bug. I'll have to see more train endings to see if it's a reappearing thing. Next up is probably the most underrated equipment, and that is the self-revive kit, because just one self-revive kit allows you to live 16 to 17 ticks in a level 1 cast tick penalty. And as the gas penalty rises and the gas ticks do more damage, self-revive gets obviously weaker. And of course, being in that down stage can be dangerous if somebody sees you. One thing before we get into the gas penalty levels, doesn't matter if you equip or drop your gas mask, it'll break in the gas. Only way to keep your gas mask healthy is to use PDS right away. Now let's talk about the tick penalty. As we all know, the more time you spend in the gas, the more deadlier the gas storm gets. So for example, in a gas level 1 with irradiated perk, you can survive 19 ticks, which is pretty much the same as 19 seconds. But as we reach 50 seconds, the gas enters the level 2, and then it takes 10 ticks to go down. And these gas penalties also affect your gas mask. After this, as a solo person, it became a little bit difficult to measure when the gas enters level 3. But I can give you a pretty good estimate, and that is a 1 minute and 20 seconds and the gas enters the level 3, 1 minute and 40 seconds we enter the level 4, and at 2 minutes you enter the level 5. And I did test a 2 minute and 30 seconds, and I took the same amount of damage as in level 5 in 2 minutes, So I believe the level 5 is the maximum. So there you go. Now that we've covered our tools pretty well, what do we actually carry into the end game? Because obviously before Circle A, you just carry your durable gas mask with your self-revive kit and 6 PDSs, and you just throw those PDSs down and you'll make a great gas play of about 3 minutes. Or something close to 3 minutes, I don't remember. But the actual question is, what is the optimal route to be using after Circle 8 where the PDS gets nerfed? And I'm gonna be timing the maximum amount you can be in the gas as a solo player without using buy stations. Because obviously when teammates and buy stations are involved in gas plays, you can open the buy stations, buy your teammates back, they enter the level 1 gas stick, they can land, grab your PDS, maybe use the self-revive kit, open that buy station once again with the PDS, and that'll be like 4, 5, 6, 7, 4 minutes in the gas, who knows. But players without friends, what should your solo pack look like? Something like this, 4 self-revive, 2 PDS? Well, not quite. So I played a ton of games to figure that one out, and here's the optimal pack to carry. And oh boy, that's looking like a pain to obtain, because look at this. 4 self-revive kits, 3 PDSs, durable gassy, stims, and your perks, of course. And goddamn, brother, how do we obtain these? Because that's definitely a ton of rares. So I'm gonna give you guys a couple of tips obtaining these rares, and believe it or not, but I find gas stations and fire stations to be a pretty reliable source for PDSs, self-revive kits, and durable gas masks, because they're fairly common here. Of course, you want to have your car and rotate gassy to gassy, fire to fire, and you will find yourself having these items in some matches, because they are definitely not free to obtain, but you can do it. But you don't want to aim for this as your primary solo strat. This is just for the theoreticals, but obviously you'll get good stuff here anyway. But bunkers also are a great way to obtain these items, but there were a couple of times where I went completely dry on these bunkers, like holy, and they were quite a contested though. But the hardest one to obtain is definitely the 3 PDSs, so I just stick around rotating between the gases and the fires rather than doing these bunkers. Of course, you can just rob bots and try to take their PDSs, but you may run into the problem where you can only carry 3 plates of activation. And here's probably the worst bunker I've ever done. So finally, after all that yapping, we finally reached the end game with the perfect pack, and let's just go ahead and throw that timer in. So everything here is set for the optimal gas play. As covered before, the durable gas mask is the first one that'll go here. Now it'll keep us fairly mobile here, so we can rotate away from the action here. We got 6 people left, they got plenty of actions even without me. So we're getting close to that 20 seconds where our durable gas mask breaks. The Circle 8 also came around the corner and our PDSs are cut in half. Now our health is going down tick by tick, but we got stims for medicine here. Now there is actually a little bit of a skill involved here as well. Like if you manage to use your equipment frame perfectly as possible, you will definitely pop up those seconds. Now 2 stims used, we hit the 40 seconds, and let's just let that restock build that 3rd one. And let's just open our pack. We got a beautiful line of equipment to be used next. Now let's go ahead and use our self-revive next. One tip here is you can buffer that self-revive animation. For me, I'm on controller, so I just hold triangle. So the way I cook my self-revives, I go almost to the full circle and I leave it there, and I try to time getting up right after the gas stick, because that allows me to heal before the next gas stick hits me, and of course getting those seconds up. So here's where the skill comes. If you do this better than me, you'll definitely survive longer. So everything is looking good. We're on our 3rd self-revive kit, and I believe we're gonna be beating that Caldera record. Our restock is actually 50% done on that stim, but this is the optimal route that you want to be using. Use your self-revive before your PDSs, because self-revive kits are more valuable on earlier gas levels. And one more thing, med rest is not needed. You're perfectly fine without it. So we're way about 1.5 minutes and we threw in our first PDS. And these PDSs are chunking for sure. But with my optimal calculations, 3 PDSs in the end is what you need for the optimal result. Now I probably could have also waited a couple more ticks before throwing this last one down, but I'm perfectly happy with this, because it took so many games to figure this one out. But we're above 2 minutes and we got one more stim, and I tried to use the stim in between these ticks, but I actually failed that. But I'm just so happy that I finally got it. Not the perfect run, but I'm happy with it. But with that said, I can definitely say officially that the Warzone 3 gas plays are better and greater than in Warzone Caldera. That's gonna cover everything up for today. I appreciate every one of y'all watching. Leave a like and subscribe if you like one of these. And peace.